In Inside the Investor's Brain, Dr. Richard Peterson, a neuroscientist and hedge fund manager, proves that even geniuses fall victim to ancient mental wiring. LTCM's mathematicians lost $4.6 billion. Isaac Newton got scammed in the South Sea bubble. Mark Twain went bankrupt on silver stocks. Even Nobel Prize winners are helpless against their own emotions. But today you are going to learn the two brain systems fighting over your money, 3 deadly investing biases that sabotage 99% of traders, how to rewire your brain using Peterson clinical hacks. Let's go. Peterson's research breaks the brain into two CEOs battling for control. The number one is prefrontal cortex, the logic brain. It plans, calculates, and evaluates long-term risk. The second one is limbic system, the caveman brain. It runs on emotion, fear, greed, stress, thrill. And guess who wins when money is on the line? When LTCM's models started collapsing in 1998, stress chemicals flooded their brains. Peterson says cortisol shuts down rational thinking by up to 40%. That's why highly educated investors make wildly irrational decisions under pressure. And it gets worse. Enter dopamine, the pleasure drug. When Newton made a quick profit on South Sea Company shares, dopamine flooded his brain. He rebought the stock at the peak and lost nearly everything. He later said, "I can calculate the motions of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people." And Newton wasn't alone. In lab studies, Peterson watched experienced investors chase wins like addicts. He writes, "The brain reacts to financial gains the same way it reacts to cocaine. Overconfidence is deadly." LTCM had 2 Nobel laureates and they still blew up. Peterson's lab scans shows that winning streaks cause a dopamine surge that tricks the brain into thinking it's invincible. Day traders often think a lucky win equals skill. But guess what? 90% of day traders lose money every year. Here's something wild. Losing $100 feels twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. Peterson did MRI studies where investors held on to losing stocks 50% longer than winning ones. Why? Because losing activates the brain's pain center, the insula. To your brain, losing money is equal to physical injury. GameStop, AMC, Dogecoin, you saw it happen. Millions joined because of FOMO. Peterson explains herd behavior triggers the brain nucleus, the addiction center. In Peterson's clinic, the first tool he gives investor is the 24-hour rule. Under stress, cortisol floods the brain, but within 24 hours, those stress chemicals fade and logic returns. Warren Buffett uses this rule instinctively. He never makes trade during a crash. The best trades come when you are calm. Want to beat your emotional brain? Outsmart it before it hijacks you? Peterson makes investors right if-then rules. Like, if a stock drops 10%, I sell. No debate. This bypasses stress decisions and forces logic into the process. This one's powerful. Peterson asks clients to keep a biased journal after each trade. Right. What bias did I feel? Did I follow my rules? In his studies, this reduced trading errors by 62% in 6 months. Here's the dark truth. Hedge funds weaponize your brain glitches. Peterson reveals how they profit off your fear and greed. Dark pools they buy quietly to trigger your FOMO, and stop and algorithms, they push prices to hit your stop loss and scoop up your shares. It's not random, it's warfare, and you are the target unless you rewire your brain. Your brain is the enemy, but now you have the blueprint to fight back. Like the video if you learned something, subscribe for part 2. In part 2, we're discussing the chapter 2 of Inside Investor's Brain. Coming next week.